Wow, Cynthia from Texas. Good to see you. Hello, hello. All right. I think all of my technology is working the way it's supposed to. So that's good. Earl, hello. Matt, hello. So, yeah. What's this, Matt? It is a TikTok live show. In this case, it's Yoda Live. I am Yoda, spelled Yoddah, because film studios are litigious. And tonight I'm going to be talking about my hero. And, if you're looking for shouting matches between MAGA hats, it sometimes happens on my live, but that's not the main thing. If you're looking for political debates, that might happen. If you're looking for discussions about just about anything else, that always happens. Hello, Reba. Good to see you. I'm also a coach. What is my hero? I think you mean who is my hero, and I will get to that. So if you'd like to find out, feel free to hang out. If not, you have plenty of options on TikTok. But either way, I appreciate that you're here and that you're asking questions and engaging. Um, you know, we need more of that. We need more curiosity. I think that's something that Einstein said. Oh, you're saying get to it? Yeah, you know what? I'm not. Since you don't know how to act, I'm not giving you a choice about being here. So now you're muted for the entire live, and you can go somewhere else if you like. Kyle, hello. Oh, good. Matt left. Perfect. I don't understand people that talk to you a crazy way that they would never talk to you in real life. You know? All these keyboard warriors on here that just think they can say anything to people because they're safe. That makes you the biggest coward in the world. Because you don't talk that way when you're face to face with me. Why is that? Why aren't you this bold when you're face to face with me? Is it that you're a coward? Is that what it is? Unreal. Get to it. The fuck are you? So anyway, for those just joining, feel free to share the live. You can do that. The easiest way is to simply hold your finger gently into the middle of the screen, somewhere around here. Your friends list will pop up, and the word send is going to be next to all of them. What I like to do is I like to scroll to different places to invite different people on, or I like to invite people on that I know like to come on, whatever it works for you, but invite people in. We're shaking the cobwebs off because I took a couple of days off. Normally I'm on Fridays and Saturdays, but I was traveling this weekend, so I did not go on. So my last show was Thursday, and it feels like there's some cobwebs. Hellmaker, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate it. And after you folks share the live out, the key thing is to keep tapping that screen. Get the likes up, because it takes 1,000 likes just for the platform to sort of acknowledge that you're even here on a live show, and then after that, the goal is in about a 2 hour period, which is usually where what I go live for, to somewhere between 2 and 3, usually around 2.5, something like that. You want to get to about 100,000 likes. So that just means everybody going nuts. You want people to just go nuts on that screen and tap, 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 to tap, to tap, tap. So that's the key. That's what we need to get the party started. Hello, Coco Bear. Hello, user 3787. Hey there. Thank you, Coco Bear, for being the number one gifter. I appreciate that. Keep rocking and rolling. Karen Williams, hello. See, in a few minutes we'll get started. I'll just be sharing some things with you about my weekend. Um, Basically, my weekend meeting my hero. And hopefully it'll be interesting. He might even stop in. That would be fun. Anita, hello. Look, my mouth is already dry, so you could tell I'm not used to talking on a live. I did join a couple lives over the weekend briefly, but didn't do much talking. But they were fun. At this point in my life, TikTok is just a regular part of my day. Hello, Richard. Hello, Johnny. It's just part of what I do. 7 days a week. And my activity varies, but normally, Bugaboo, hello. Normally 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I am here conducting Yoddah Live. I also have a coaching profile, which is coach.yoddah, coach period, then the word Yoddah, Yoddah, again, because film studios are litigious. It's my favorite tagline that I ever came up with. Cynthia says, I did my walk with the 4 dogs on Saturday, fell hard, wow. Stumbled home, swollen ankle, bruised knee. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, God. I am happy to say that it's been I think about 25 years since I've fallen down. I think. I've tripped a couple times, but didn't fall. But I remember one snowy day on Long Island. I was walking over icy slush with my 2 dress shoes on. And normally I would have been good. Normally I would have been able to catch myself because of the way that I walk on ice. But I had a heavy bag with me, for sales, my laptop and all that other stuff, paperwork, all that good stuff. So, uh, you know, it threw off my balance, and I wound up falling really hard. And luckily, nothing serious happened, but it definitely, I felt it. It rattled me. What was I? I guess I was about 36. Yeah. 35, 36, around there. Yeah, I must have been around 36. But anyway, yeah. That sucked. But I'm glad you're good. Oh, Hellmaker, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. I do have a rose goal up there of 100 roses. If anyone gets around to it, and I'm sure as more people come in, we'll get that. Hello, Andy. I think I said hello to Richard already. So, yeah. So, I hope everybody's weekend was good. Mine was absolutely spectacular. I'm still sort of buzzing from it in a way. It's still part of it feels surrealistic, but it was wild. Yeah, I think it's rare that you get to meet your heroes, and I know that there's sort of very old thinking about that. I've heard this pretty much my whole life, as far as I can remember. People say, be careful meeting your heroes, or you don't want to meet your heroes because they never live up to your expectations. So it's easy to get disappointed meeting someone that's your hero, right? And I get that. I've met a few celebrities, but normally when I meet celebrities, it's very quick. It's just like, "Hi, how you doing?" And I move on. Um, I'm not really smitten by celebrities. I mean, I probably would feel very moved if I met Billy Joel, especially, Billy Joel from 20, 25 years ago. Um, because his music is just so profound in my life. But, I have no idea who he is as a person. I know he's had his struggles like most people do, but I don't know who he is. I just know I like his music. Actually, I love his music, right? And I admire his talent as a songwriter. He's definitely a good singer. Um, but I don't know who he is beyond his public persona or whatever little things he's revealed in public. We have a tendency as people, when we like someone's talent, whether it's an athlete, a performer, any kind of entertainer, artist of any kind, when we like what they produced, what they make in the world, whether it's playing a game or making music or drawing something, painting something, writing a book, whatever it is, you know, just like actors that are do performances that move us. Um, you know, we we tend to attach other characteristics to them. We tend to assume that they're good people, decent people, all that stuff, just because we like the product that they produce, or we like the feeling associated with whatever it is that they do. And I believe that that's potentially a mistake. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Hello, CC. I am well. Hope you're well too. Um, Cynthia says, like my brother, OJ couldn't do that. He won the Super Bowl once. Now, sometimes, um, One Love, I see you want to come up. I will start having people up in a little while. Sometimes, um, you can have someone who's exactly what they seem to be. Obviously, that's going to be a thing. But sometimes you can get just the opposite. And I'll use a couple of examples. Well, my main example really should be enough, honestly. But I do have two. One is not exactly a celebrity, but it still makes the point. So, Bing Crosby was an absolutely well loved entertainer. Just, he was a crooner. He had that mellifluous, low tone and beautiful range on his voice. Real singer, real honest to goodness, talented singer. And people loved him. He also did film work. So he was a bona fide celebrity and basically a superstar, you know. Later, we find out that he was an awful human being. That happened in Britain too. There was this one celebrity that had allegations against them, but nobody ever wanted to accept that he was a bad person. And then when he expired, it all came out. And it turns out that he was one of the worst PDF files in Britain's history. Wow. But what did we find out about Bing? Well, we found out that he abused his family. Like mentally, physically, abused his family, emotionally, certainly. This guy was awful. And everyone thought, oh, he's the skinny crooner that sings, Silver Bells and White Christmas and all that. I think he was the first one to sing Happy Holiday from the film Holiday Inn. And it wasn't called Happy Holidays then, it was called Happy Holiday. Then they changed it. And now the one we hear every year is the updated one by Andy Williams. Was it Williams? Andy Williams. And what's interesting about that song is that nowhere does the word Christmas exist. Because in 1941, it was common practice for people to say Happy Holidays. Because they were acknowledging that not everybody is into one religion. And it's a way to be inclusive and polite and respectful of the fact that not everybody does what you do. How that became a war on Christmas is absolutely ridiculous. Now, the second example I have, now that we've covered Bing, is a guy who was a pillar in his community. Or is it of his community? Could go either way. This guy was a pillar of his community, and he was a business owner. He was involved in every civic and business activity in town, whether it was Lions Club or whatever Elks Club, Elks Lodge, Moose Lodge, whatever thing was going on in his town, this guy was involved in, and a well-respected business owner. He was a family man, wife and children, owned a home, paid his taxes, paid his mortgage on time. And on top of that, on top of all of that, he would dress as a clown and entertain sick children. He would dress as a clown and entertain sick children in hospitals. But there was one problem. He had a dark side to him. He liked to kidnap, torture, and rape teenage boys and then perish them and bury them in his backyard and in the crawl space under his house. Dozens. If you haven't figured it out by now, we're talking about John Wayne Gacy, a man who the state decided was not fit to live among society. And they expired him eventually. So think about that. Think about the fact that even the woman that slept next to him in his bed and helped raise his children. She had no idea who this man was. She had no idea about this dark side of the man she slept next to. So I don't know why people confidently believe that they know a celebrity just because they like their work. It doesn't make any sense. I absolutely adore Billy Joel's music. His music for me falls into one of two categories. Either I love one of his songs or I like one of his songs. I have never heard a Billy Joel song where I was like, oh, I don't like this. Or meh, whatever. It's just, I love them. Some of them move me to tears to this day. Downeaster Alexa will make me cry every single time I hear it. Thank you, CC, for the heart me. Hello, Biker D. I forgot to remind everybody, go get your daily heart me. Every time you're on a live, get that heart me. That is the most important indicator to TikTok that you like the live. So that's a big chunk of the algorithm is predicated on those daily heart me's. So have at it. You get points for doing it, fan points. You level up in fandom and all that good stuff. I just reached level 15 in Danny's fan club. I'm so excited about that. Cynthia says some of the most outgoing people are scary double life. That's an interesting idea. I don't know who Go Boom guy. You said Cynthia said like the horror, true crimes, the Go Boom guy was a part of normal society. Unfortunately, I don't know that reference. Understand? I just can't even figure out which word to substitute. But that's okay. But there's plenty of examples of this. You know, it's just a thing that happens. Like a guy who seems like just a regular guy, um, and he expires, and then two families show up at his wake. You know, there's two wives, two sets of children, two households, the whole thing. It happens. And the women that sleep next to them and bear their children have no idea that this person was doing that. That's why I don't vouch for anybody unless I've been through the ringer with you. You know, like if someone asks me, do you vouch for so and so? I'm like, I know him, but I'm not vouching for him because I don't know him like that. I gotta know that you and I have been through it before I'm gonna vouch for you. And I can only think of two or maybe three people that I would vouch for. So I got a few people in here. I'll start talking about my topic, which is my hero. So the reason I was not on Friday and Saturday night as I normally am is that I went to meet my hero, Danny. Some of you know him as Grandpa Danny, Keep Them Accountable Danny, Justice Over Tyranny Danny. You know, Danny is a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who was at one point the number one recruiter for the Army in all of America. Sam, thank you for the heart me. Hey, there he is. Look at that. Perfect timing, Danny. I literally just started telling our story for over the weekend. So this is perfect. So hang out in the chat for a few minutes, and then when I'm done, I'll start bringing people up. So now that Danny's here, Traffic Man, thank you. Thank you for the heart me. So I'll do my best to cover everything in a short amount of time, but I just, I want to capture this because this gets recorded, and I want to have this for the rest of my life. Thank you, Sam, for stopping by to give love. I always appreciate that. So Danny's here, and I had the absolute honor of my life because I got to meet him and his absolutely wonderful wife, Carol. I got to meet Jordan, one of the KTA crew, and Jordan was kind enough to go way out of his way to pick me up at the airport. And we had a chance to talk about a bunch of stuff in the car. That was excellent. It was a great bonding time with Jordan. I got to learn more about him, more in depth. Yes, Sam, I love that picture too. There's a photograph of me, Danny, and Jordan. I also have one of just me and Danny. And I mean, I'm just overjoyed. But I'll go by and I'll try to wrap everything up quickly because we packed a lot into 3 days, and I'm not going to cover all of the tedious details, but I'll just give you the broad strokes. So it's no secret that Danny gave a huge sacrifice to his country and for all of us. He gave up his health. He gave up, parts of his body. Took a hot round in the temple. This guy paid the ultimate sacrifice, just shy of the complete sacrifice that soldiers sometimes give. And thank goodness for that. Thank goodness he's still here. Because, getting to know him over the last 7 months on this platform, I already knew who he was. You've heard me speak many, many times about him, how much I respect him, how much I revere him as a human being, because I know lots of people like Danny who are bitter and angry at the world for going through even less than what he went through. And I don't judge them for that. I understand you have a right to be angry if America used and abused you, and broke your body, broke your heart, broke your spirit, broke your emotions. Some people never recover. But somehow, Danny has a heart as big as the ocean. Just a beautiful human being who loves everybody, who cares about everybody, who is generous beyond belief. He kept wanting to reimburse me for my hotel or this or that, and I was like, no. You don't understand. This is my honor to be here. You're not spending a dime while I'm here. And I don't do that to be a braggart or to show off. It's just a reflection of my love and admiration for him. And so imagine me feeling how I do about him and flying cross country just so I could shake his hand, look in his eyes, and say, I love you. That was my whole reason for going. I felt it for a long time, but I didn't want to say it for the first time on a social media platform. I wanted to be looking in his eyes when I said it. And I got my wish fulfilled. And as I said earlier, I know the predominating wisdom is it's a mistake to meet your heroes because they can only disappoint you. Well, I'm the exact opposite of that. It was better than I could have imagined. Danny is funny, got stories for days, compelling, interesting stories, and he tells them well. He's got an outrageously energetic laugh, still sharp mentally, sharper than the next 10, 30-year-olds combined. And just a caring, loving human being, which is reflected in the wife that he chose. And I absolutely loved hearing their origin story. That was one of the things that I wanted to do when I was there, is because you catch bits and pieces over time, but I was like, I want to hear the whole story from start to finish, how it all came to be, and what a great story that was. And then, we sat there at one point Saturday afternoon when we were eating. It just was me, Jordan, and Danny for a few hours, just sitting there talking, swapping stories, laughing our asses off. Then came back Sunday, and as I didn't even imagine that it could have gotten better than it already was. But then we had some one-on-one time. Danny and I went to brunch after Danny finished vet talk, and I got to have a few hours with him all to myself. And I'm telling you, guys like Danny are rare. They're a national treasure. And guys like Danny used to, not like Danny, guys that looked like Danny, let me be precise about that. Guys that looked like Danny used to terrorize me when I was a child. They used to come out of their homes when I was 9, 10, 12, literally would open their doors to come out to yell ugly words at me, racial epithets, threats. They'd slow down their cars. Sometimes they would stop. Sometimes they would surround me and say horrible things to me, and I had to fight my way through that on several occasions. So to meet a guy like Danny on this goofy platform that was invented for children, which I just expected to be another platform. Now, I admire a lot of people that I've met on here. I like a lot of people that I've met on here. And I love a couple of people that I've met on here, but there is no one like Danny. Nowhere else in my life do I know a man like Danny. So I will be forever grateful to this goofy platform for connecting me with Danny. I only had one other hero in my life, and that's a man I never got to meet, which is George Carlin. He informs a lot of what I am. And my second hero ever in my life is Danny. And thank goodness I got to meet him face to face. And I hope to do it again. But if for whatever reason I don't get a chance to, you can't take away this experience from me. It's going to live inside of me forever and just be a cherished part of who I am for the rest of my life. So that's what I wanted to share with you all. And now I'll start having people come up. Whoever wants to come up. Of course, Danny, I will bring you up. Traffic Man, I'll bring you up. if you would like to come up. And anybody else who wants to come up can do so. Okay, I can hear someone's here, but as usual, TikTok is being finicky, so I don't know who it is.
Yeah, you blacked out, Yoddah. I can't see
Yeah.
You can't see me either?
you. No.
No.
Oh, that's interesting. So we can hear each other, but we can't see each other. And on,
Nope.
I have an account that I monitor my lives through, and I can see myself. So it's probably just a glitch. I wouldn't worry about it.
No. I
So-
hear you fine. It's just
Cool. So we're good. So Hellmaker said I'm almost in tears. That was beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Hellmaker. I meant every word of it. So Traffic Man, how you doing this evening?
Good. That was an incredible share, man.
Yeah.
But it's from what I know of Danny, it's the truth.
100%.
Oh my goodness.
And Danny, how you feeling?
you got Grandma and I tearing up. We were overwhelmed of your kindness and generosity and the words that she shared about me and her. And the feelings is very mutual, my friend. I was I was at tears when I hugged you and you left. That took me a while to get my composure back, but thank God I had Carol to console me a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. If it was up to me, I would have never left.
I told you
Yeah.
I'd keep you. I told you we'd keep you.
Yeah. I'm almost housebroken. Maybe it'll work out.
Oh, you got Grandma going good
Yeah.
there. That was.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, hearing you two laugh in person was just music to my ears. So, just everything. It was just magical for me. I remember sitting in the airport last night and just going, man, is this really my life? Did I actually do that? Because for those of you who don't know, I have not taken a personal trip for pleasure in 11 years. The first plane trip that I took after the lockdown was for to visit my mother in the hospital for the last time that I saw her alive. And then a few weeks later when she expired and I went down for her funeral, and that was last December. So that it had been like over 4 years since I had been on an airplane at all. And then when I booked the trip to see Danny, I was thinking, like, have I actually taken a trip just for pleasure because the last time I could remember was 11 years ago when I turned 50. I was living in Florida, but since all of my buddies were up in New York, I came up to New York to visit. So 11 years ago was the last time I took a plane ride for pleasure. And this was the best money that I've ever spent on any trip I've ever taken. So I was absolutely thrilled, and just sitting there in the airport going, man, this is, I feel so fortunate to have been able to do this.
Maybe we can find a place that'll let us have another dog.
Well, we sure loved having you here. It was a miracle that I did not ever expect to do to see you, and shaking your hand and giving you the best hug I could give you.
It was a great hug. Yeah. No, it's when I was walking back to the car with Jordan Friday night when he took me to the hotel, I just said, my heart is full. And that's how I felt since then. My heart is just full. So I'm a lucky guy. So I don't even know how much longer I'll keep the live going. I just wanted to share that with everybody. I'll do my hour just so I satisfy my agency requirements, but I really just wanted to just let everybody know. I wanted to capture my sentiments so that I would have them recorded, and I'll put them up on another platform and share them with you so that you can see it. But like, I just wanted the world to know. I wanted everybody to know who you are. And when I talk about you and because I'm a big believer that the time to tell people how you think about someone is when they're here, not when you're standing over a box. So I just wanted the world to know who you are and why I love you and why I respect you.
I really appreciated that. The feeling is mutual for sure. Grandma and I just love you to pieces.
Yeah. Well, your house is warm, it's inviting, it's full of love and laughter, and you know, all of us, all of the people that are in your circle are just, we're willing to be there for you in whatever capacity we can. We know that for anybody, getting older sucks, and we know how frustrating it can be, and we know how hard it is to ask for help sometimes, but we're not even waiting for you to ask us for help. We're just giving it. We're just there for you in any capacity that we can be. And like, I know Jordan thinks the world of you. He's doing his live right now, otherwise he'd be here. But so I know that everybody is in your corner. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves Carol. And anything, no matter what happens, no matter where life takes us in the future, we are going to be there for you. That much I can guarantee you.
Well, we we really appreciate it because, like I told you, Father Time is he's undefeated,
Yes,
and
sir.
and I'm on my last few years. Unfortunately, I wish I'd have met you 50 years ago. I mean,
Well,
when
I,
you were
I,
11.
I think we met at the perfect moment. And, you're basically like the older brother I wish I had had. And, you know, life works out the way it works out. Um, anytime I've ever met someone that I care about and love and respect, of course, I always wish that I had met them sooner, but we met when we met, and it was perfect timing, and it gave value to a lot of things for me. It gave value to this platform. I mean, there's no other reason that I can think of in my life for this platform to exist except for meeting you and the rest of the KTA gang, because it's some of the most meaningful relationships that I've had, and I'm lucky. I have loving, caring, wonderful people in my life, so I'm not lonely. I didn't need anything. I didn't need anybody. I just was like, yeah, this is another platform to splash my face on. And when I wandered into one of the lives and heard you talking, I was like, yeah, I like what I'm hearing here. I like the vibe that these people are putting out. Then I started checking out everybody's lives and everybody's posts, and what I saw was a bunch of people who were consistently doing what they said they were about. And that is hard to find in life in general, and even harder to find on social media. So what a blessing, what a gift.
Absolutely. I never expected to meet anybody that I got so close to on TikTok. I never did. I've only been on here since January,
Right.
and it's just I am so pleased and so fortunate to meet the KTA family, Traffic Man, you especially, Jordan. I'm just in Cherry and AC and all them. I'm
Yeah.
just my heart full like you, and
Yeah.
it's I wouldn't I could not a re, I couldn't think even want to think not having you people in my life.
Oh yeah, no, this is this is it. This is permanent. We're all stuck
Yep,
together.
absolutely.
you know,
Only pure person that's going to separate us is God.
yeah.
He, and I hate to say it that way, but that's
But even
my love
even
for you
even
is
that's
going to
not
go to the
permanent.
grave.
That's just that's a circumstance because
Yeah,
even though we go the way of all flesh, we all experience the persistent rumor of the end of life. But you know what? That doesn't remove someone from your heart.
no.
So
Well, you're going with me. You and Grandma and my family is already up there. You'll be a big part of my heart when I go. So,
wow, what an amazing thing! What an amazing thing! Yeah.
I got an
So,
enlarged heart, so the doctor says I got plenty of room.
yeah. So other than that, last week I got, some pretty good news from my doctor. Today I started on some, one new medication trying to deal with stabilizing my mood because I basically have been fighting depression my whole life. Luckily, I don't have it as
Right.
bad as some people do. And luckily, I'm okay most of the time. But I noticed that as I'm getting older, it was getting trickier. So I was like, let me see if I can nip this at the bud so it doesn't get worse. So today I started on a medication for that, and we'll see how that goes. But overall, my health is decent. So that was good to find out. So I got that good news on Tuesday, and then saw you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and now back on TikTok, roaming these streets and raising hell and all that good stuff. But it is, what's interesting to me? I touched on this earlier. Like, this went from just another social media platform to something that is like just automatically part of every single day that I'm awake and alive. Like, it's just what I'm going to do. At some point, and usually it's right away. Usually I wake up and boom, just first thing I check is what's going on the platform. And but like even if I don't do that, at some point it's 100% guaranteed that I'm going to check in and see what's going on. Did anyone from KTA post anything? What day is it? Who's going live today? You know, so it's just amazing that this has become such a staple of my life. Like it's like eating and drinking water. It's something that I feel that I need to do, even though I know that I don't need to do it. I know I don't need to be on any social media platforms, but I know that I'm going to be just because people that I care about are on this platform.
Yeah, it's amazing who you find and what you find on this platform so far. I met some people that I wouldn't want them to go to walk my dog, let alone be in my life. But the, the people that I've met that are really genuine and and feel the way I feel about my country and the duty that I have left to fight for our freedom and our democracy is overwhelming. I found a lot of people on here that have the same thought process as I do. And I'm blessed to have them in my life, especially in the rotation of going from one life to the other. I would have never met Traffic Man if it hadn't been for TikTok.
Right,
I wouldn't have met Trucker T or you or AC or Cherry or
right,
Jordan, all of them.
right.
And it was all by going around from one page to another
Yep.
and getting into conversation. And all of a sudden, I found the people I wanted to be associated with without even really trying. They
Yeah.
were already there.
Yeah. You find your tribe, basically.
Yep,
That's,
pretty much.
and you find people that resonate with you. Uh, JCT. Oh my lord. I'm just going to get rid of you because there's something desperately wrong with you. So
Yeah.
like you're that easily triggered because someone used the word democracy. Jesus Christmas.
Especially the entire topic of this live so far, and that's
Yeah.
that's that's the topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway. So traffic
That's
man, we
interesting.
haven't heard from you in a minute. Any thoughts?
I'm just listening and letting you guys speak because there's a lot of man. This is great. There, uh, I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point. Uh, and you guys are right. If it wasn't for this app, I would be playing video games or doing something non-constructive, if you will.
Right.
And but it's giving me the opportunity to meet two great gentlemen like you and everybody else that I've met on this app. It's 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 a surprise out of this app. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the last thing I ever thought because I've been on social media for a very long time now.
Hmm.
I think the first thing I ever joined was probably the professional platforms and that kind of stuff. But then all the
Okay.
other typical stuff that came up, I just was like, yeah, especially when you're in sales and you're networking all the time, you kind of, it's smart to be everywhere that you can be.
Hmm.
And I've had fun on other platforms. Met a few people, got laid a few times from, women hitting on me. And I mean, one of them was in Minneapolis and flew out to bang me. I was happy about that. Twice
Can't argue with
actually.
that. No.
She flew out to New York and then later on flew out to Florida. And
Okay.
it was cool. I mean, she was a lunatic, but she was really enthusiastic about banging me, so I was happy. And I dated
Nothing
one
wrong with
woman
that.
for a few months in Brooklyn. Again, she hit on me, and because I never hit on any woman on on social media. I wait till they hit on me. And I've done dating apps and all that other stuff, but like I can't think of like any other platform where I felt compelled to get on a plane and go meet someone. Like there's this woman in Australia who's a really sweet woman. She's a coach like me, and she did my podcast like 4 times. A couple of them were one on one. Actually, I think 3 of them might have been one on one, and she interviewed me and my ex-wife once, and she was on panels and stuff. So and she's great, but like and I genuinely admire her as a person, but I was like, yeah, I'm not jumping on a plane to go meet this person. So
Right.
I've made some nice connections with people, but nothing as meaningful as some of the connections on this platform, and it's just pretty fucking wild.
Right. I mean, social media for me growing up was different, than probably for you. I mean, most of it was, I don't know if you remember MySpace
Sure,
back in the day.
sure,
A lot of it was just kind of like, it was an extension of America Online, Instant Messenger, once that had fallen through. And,
yeah,
they just kept going and going. But then at some point, I never really had the ability to engage with anybody. I never really had the ability it seemed more of a uh, influencer type based kind of a thing. There was really no real engagement other than maybe the comments and stuff like that. But I mean, this app here, man, that just revolutionized the ability to connect with people.
Yeah, and other apps had the ability to it. Other apps are essentially like this one. Like you could go live on other apps. You could
Mhm.
make videos, you could make posts, all that, whatever. You could do all that stuff with other apps. I do find it fascinating that this one, just took on a different kind of life of its own. And, there's probably lots of different factors that informs that. Some of it has to do with the political climate and all that stuff, but all of that stuff was really there before. The only thing that's different is the clown in office right now. But
Sure.
we've always talked about politics. We've always talked about world events and entertainment and blah blah blah, sports, all that shit that people talk about. We all talked about it before. If you were on a platform that was more geared toward professional networking, then the conversation was slightly different there. But there's always been people that have gotten together because of these platforms. But I think that for me, this has just been uh,
Yeah.
the most meaningful relationships and most meaningful connections that I've made. And I think Moose is joining us. I don't see anything on my screen. So Moose, are you there? Hello? Maybe not. Maybe they changed their mind, or maybe they tapped by accident. Whatever. I don't know. Um. So anyway, again, that was my only real reason for coming up tonight. Moose, you're here. Did you come up? I don't know. I don't see you on the panel. I don't see anyone on the panel, so I don't know. I can't tell if you're on the panel or not.
I
Yeah,
see.
Moose is there. I don't.
Yeah,
He's not talking.
Okay.
it's just a dark box.
Okay. So, Moose, is your mic working? Are you muted?
Are you Dark Moose or what's going on? Oh, he dropped.
It dropped. Yep. Here you
Oh,
go.
he dropped. Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Well, if you
Moose
have
in the
anything
dark.
you want to share, feel free to share it in the chat. Um, okay. Not sure what Dangerfield means there.
Yeah, I seen him there several times talking.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happens most. Sometimes TikTok is finicky. Like right now, even though Traffic Man and Danny are up on the panel, I can't see any one of them. So,
And we can't see you, so what's up with this shit?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a
Right.
glitch. It's just a glitch. I mean, this technology is extremely complicated, and they're literally working on it 24 hours a day. So sometimes things are just going to go wrong, But
Yep.
Yep.
you know, I know that I've captured this because I have a second camera that captures everything, so I don't rely on just one camera and one platform to capture things. Redundancy. Sometimes you got to have a backup.
Right.
So I've got it all. Everything we talked about tonight, I got it. So
Perfect.
so
Well,
I
that's
think
awesome.
that's it for my first day back after my mini vacation. I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover. Does anybody have any final thoughts, Traffic Man? Any last thing you want to say?
Um, well, the story, your story, was absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy you got to have that experience. Just si- si- um, seeing the picture of you smiling, I mean, it was just pure joy. I really, And you know, somebody like Danny, I mean, you know, he's once in a lifetime kind of guy. I mean, you know,
Hey,
both of you
listen, I'm
really,
61. I
you know.
never met anybody like him, so I'm
Yeah.
almost certain it's a once in a while lifetime thing.
Yeah, right. So that's all I got to say. So
All right.
everybody have
Well,
a good night.
since I can't see you, you'll have to drop yourself down. So
Okay.
good night to you. And Danny, any final thoughts on this magical reminiscence?
Well, Grandma and I really appreciate everything that you said. And we all know that you said it from the heart, and that makes us even more happier that you feel about us that way. And the best way I could close this out is to say we love you. That's
And I love you both. And I'm gonna move heaven and earth to make sure that I can get out there again. So hopefully it won't be too long. We'll see what happens. But at as Bogart said, we'll always have Paris, right? So at the very least, we met the one time. Anything else would be gravy. But we got that in the locker. That's there
that's
forever.
right. That's in the bank.
All
Yep.
right, excellent. Well, thank you, sir, for everything you do, and for being the rock, the cornerstone, the main pillar of our little group. We all look up to you. We all respect you. We all admire you, and you are our de facto leader. You set the tone for the loving care that we give each other, and we simply wouldn't be the same without you.
Thank you so much, Yoda. I really appreciate your kind words.
All right. Well, since I can't see you, you'll have to drop yourself down. So have a great night, and I'm sure we'll see each other
Okay.
on these TikTok streets soon.
I hope to see you tomorrow for sure.
Absolutely. All right, folks. So that's it. That wraps up another installment of Yoda Live. As I mentioned, I am here Monday through Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And tomorrow we'll be back to business as usual, covering topics of the world, politics, society, culture, love, relationships, coaching, all that good stuff. For those folks who would like to support me on my other channel, I finally put up a video, an introductory video, explaining very briefly, and I'll definitely be making more of these, but I explained very briefly what my coaching is about. And if you want to see that, it's coach.yoddah. And once again, Yoda is Yodddah, because film studios are litigious. And with that, peace, love, and granola. Talk to you soon.